Hello again and welcome to Open the Book. Now last week we looked at some lost coins and the lady who desperately searched and searched and searched until she found her lost coin. This week we're going to be thinking about something else that got lost. And I thought I'd just tell you a little bit of something that happened to me once. I like going walking in the Lake District, and one time we arrived quite late at night. It was after 1 o'clock in the morning, and we had to walk to the place we were staying, which is normally about just over an hour's walk up into the mountains. And we were staying with a number of other people. And we were going to be the last people to get there. And it was a moonlit night, lovely. It was only about the third time I'd been there, and I thought I knew the way. And we set off in the dark with quite heavy rucksacks full of food and everything that we needed for our time away. And on the journey, I took a wrong turn and I strayed off the path. And my friend and I struggled. We walked through all sorts of really long grass and all sorts of stuff. And by the time it got to about 3 o'clock in the morning, we were feeling absolutely exhausted. It had been a long drive all the way from London. And my friend just said, I just want to lie down here and go to sleep. We could actually see a lamp in the window of the place we were staying. And that was how we knew roughly where it was. But there was a tricky bit, as you have to go round the edge of a lake to get there. And as we were just about to give up, and the moon was going down as well, so we couldn't really see where we were going, and we had to have our head torches on. Suddenly the lamp started to move, and it moved towards us because somebody, a friend of mine called Angus, had seen our head torches and knew that we were having some problems. Angus brought the lamp towards us round the path and guided us back onto the right path. And then we followed him all the way back and settled into our bunks exhausted, and only got a few hours sleep before it was time to go walking in the morning. But we were very, very grateful for him leading us home and leading us back onto the right path. And today's story is about a little sheep, a little lamb that strays off the right path, and somebody goes to find it. So let's open the book and read the story called The Good Shepherd. When Jesus talked, everybody came to listen. People who thought they were good, and people who weren't so good too. Cheats and liars and robbers and thieves. The people who thought they were good didn't like this one bit. "Hey, Jesus," they shouted. "You say you come from God. You call him your father. So why are you spending your time with these bad people?" Jesus thought for a minute. "Let me tell you a story," he said. "Once upon a time there was a shepherd who had 100 sheep. He knew each of them by sight. The white ones and the black ones, the spotted ones and the stripy ones, the thin ones and the fat ones, the sleek ones and the woolly ones. And every night, after he had called them in from the fields and gathered them in their pen, he would count them. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 97, 98, 99, 100. One day, he found himself a sheep short. 96, 97, 98, 99. But he never got to 100 because one sheep was missing. It's Bramble. Bramble is missing. Oh my goodness. What do you think he did? Did he say to himself, well, I've got 99 sheep left. Who cares if one is lost? Of course not. He cared for the missing sheep just as much as for the rest. So he picked up his walking stick and off he went, across hills and fields, looking for the lost sheep. He looked under bushes. Come on, Bramble, where are you? He looked behind rocks. He looked down in deep ravines. And finally, when he had almost given up hope, he found the lost sheep, trapped in a tangle of thorns. It's amazing! I found the last lost lamb. I'll take it home now, and we're going to have a party, a big one. Then he slung the sheep over his shoulders and carried it safely home. Come to my house, he called to his neighbours. Come to my house, he said to his friends. Come to my house, he called to his friends. My sheep was lost, and now it's found. We're going to have a party. Why do I talk to people who have done bad things? Said Jesus to the crowd. Because God is like that shepherd, and we are all his sheep. Some stay in the pen, but some, like these robbers and thieves, wander away and get lost. So someone has to look for them and talk to them. And when they come back to him, God throws a party too. That's a great story. It's great to know that God comes and looks for people who wander off and do the wrong thing. I wonder if you've ever wandered off and done the wrong thing. Last time I asked you to think about something that you'd done that was wrong that you needed to say sorry for. This time we're just going to say thank you. Thank you that when we do the wrong thing, that God goes looking for us. And if we're willing to be found, he will find us. I'm going to say a prayer. If you want to make it your prayer, say Amen at the end. Lord Jesus, thank you that you are the good shepherd, that you go looking for your lost sheep. Sheep who are just like us, who wander off the path and get stuck in our own mess. Thank you that you look for us, and if we're willing to be found, you find us and you take us home, and you're happy and you have a party. Thank you. Amen. Well, next week we have another story, and I'm not going to tell you anything about that at the moment. You just have to wait and see.